Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. This week, I grabbed my washi sticker books and I narrowed down what I wanted to pick from, and I chose between these 4, and I'm not exactly sure which ones I want to use yet, but one is more white, one is more like a green tone but white, one is pink, and one is like a purpley blue. So I'm just trying to decide which one I want to use and which one inspires me the most. And I really liked the white one for this week. I am traveling this week, and so I like to try to fit my planner to the mood I'm feeling. And I wasn't really feeling these pinks. They were a little too bright and vibrant for having to go on a business trip. And then these blues and purples, they just were a little too dark for me for this week. So I did go ahead and choose the white, but I kept that greenish and the pink book close by in case I wanted to pull in some other things. I also grabbed these small talk stickers, and these are just short little sentences that I can add into clusters, and I really like those. And then I have some random quote sticker books just on a ring together, and I might use these, I might not. We'll just have to wait and see what I need in order to make my spread feel complete for the week. So here I am making a final decision about which of these washi tape books I'm going to go with, and I do pick the white one, and then I will go ahead and just jump right into decorating. The first thing I do when I'm using these washi tape sticker books is try to flip through and see what I'll actually want to use. If there's one that I know for sure I want to use, I will go ahead and pull it, but I try not to pull too many because then they are loose at the end and I have to try to tuck them back into the book nicely, and that doesn't usually work for me. I did decide that I also wanted a little more texture in the background, so I did grab this script washi tape that I really like, but I don't find a lot of use for it because it is so wide. But I really thought that this would be a good backdrop to a lot of these washi tape stickers. So I did go ahead and just wallpaper the background here for that added texture. And I'm just using my Live Love Posh washi tape cutter, ripper, whatever you want to call it, to tear the edges. And I wanted the left side to be more rough, so that's why I'm tearing it by hand. And then I wanted the right side to be straighter, so I'm using the straight edge to cut the washi tape that way. I do have to cut off the edge of the washi tape with the scissors, and that's easy to do, but I am liking how that provides a good resting place for these images. I did decide that I wanted to bring in just a little bit of color. This sage green grid washi is pretty neutral still, but I did like that it brought in just a little more interest into this cluster. And so I just like that it brings in a little bit more and adds just a little more interest and some more layers. I definitely like the layered look, so I will take the backing off these washi tape stickers, and then as I lay them down, I realize that they're very transparent. And at first, I just immediately didn't like that because I was expecting them to not be this transparent. And then I decided to go ahead and play off of it and work with it instead of against it. But it's definitely something to keep in mind if you're thinking about purchasing some washi stickers. If you have some washi stickers in your stash currently and you don't use them because you don't like this look, you could always either leave the backing on and tape them down, or you could put the washi sticker on white sticker paper, trim it out, and use it that way. There are definitely a lot of cute images in these books, so I would hate to see them go to waste just because they have this transparent look to them. So I did have to move these stickers around a little bit to make them look the way that I wanted them to look due to that transparency, but I think that it turned out really cute and I liked it a lot. So I was happy that I went in that direction. The next thing I'm going to do is put some of this tape down at the bottom, and I am going to cover up that tracker. I have been trying to change up my morning routine, and I am also doing the Mel Robbins launch program. So I just don't have the time that I used to focus on writing a daily verse and listening to the podcast every day. So I'll talk about that more in my goals for the month, but I really have to try to decide what I want to spend the limited time that I have every day on. I do work full time and I'm frequently in the office or out of town, so I have very limited number of hours to spend on non-work tasks. So I do appreciate you guys being flexible with me. I know that I hadn't posted in, I think, 2 weeks or maybe a week and a half. So I'm very grateful that you guys stick around with me even when I am inconsistent in my video posting. But all that to say that I have to prioritize what things get in my morning routine, what things get done in the evenings outside of my working hours, and sometimes I have to switch things up to make time for other things. So, this launch program, even though it supposedly is only a half an hour a day, it is taking me a lot longer to get through all the content and really absorb what she's saying. So I want to make sure that I'm focusing on that as much as possible. So that means that some of the other things that I had spent time on in the past will have to just be put on the back burner for now. So I'm liking how these clusters are looking, but I feel like they're missing just a little bit. So that's why I grabbed these small talk stickers, and I'm debating on whether I want to go with the black or the white stickers. And regardless of which I pick, the sentences are the same on each of the black and the white sheets. So each sheet is individual, but the black and the white repeat each other, if that makes sense. So this first sticker that I put down says, "Live simply, give generously." And I just tried to put it in a place where it isn't covering up the main part of the image. And then at the top, I put choose to see the good stuff. And again, I'm just trying to pick a spot that does not cover up the main image. So on the two that have the book in the background, I'm trying to not cover up the flower head. So let's move on to the weekly spread. And this week's spread is going to be very different for me. It is still going to be functional for me, but really, this to me is more of a decorative spread because I am not going to be color coding and putting in all the things that I normally put in. Monday is a holiday, which means I don't have my normal appointments and meetings that I need to put in. Tuesday through Thursday, I will be out of town. And then I leave again Friday for a long weekend. There isn't much time blocking that I'm going to be able to do. Monday, I will be home and I will probably be working on around the house tasks, getting food ready, and doing any planner stuff that I can. Thursday night, I will do a little bit, depending on what time we get back from the business trip. And then Sunday evening will be a little bit of extra time as well. But really, it's a brief amount of time that I have to work on actual things that I would spend my quote unquote free time on. So I'm just going to try to be as intentional as I can about that time and what I spend it on. But that also means that my normal time blocking won't work the way that it normally does. So instead, I am planning on making this a decorative spread, but leaving plenty of white space for lists and different notes to myself. Both trips will require me taking different things and not just different because I'm traveling, but also different because it's a different type of trip. Friday through Sunday, I am going to help with a graduation party, and I need to pack different things. So, like a veggie tray and different utensils and different tools than I would normally take on a trip with me. So, it will be good to have space to write those notes in. I did decide to grab my Mojo Jojo Plans Black Boxes sticker book just to drop in some of the important things for the week. I was hoping that they had the longer black stickers so that I could put something across Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for my business trip, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for my personal trip, but they didn't have that, so I will have to come up with something else to put there. And here I am just trying to figure out how I'm going to make this work for my meal planning for the week, and I did decide that I would trim it and overlap it so that I could make sure that I had a space for all 7 days of the week. And here I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to overlap it with the washi tape, if I'm going to overlap it with the top area, or how I want to lay this down. And eventually I do end up putting it over the washi tape because I just think it will lay out better that way, but I just wanted to try a few other options before I stuck it down. These stickers are very sticky, so I didn't want to have to try to move them around once I put them down. They're definitely not as forgiving as washi tape or the washi tape stickers are. So here I just cut off the bottom of the sticker and now I'm overlapping it so it still looks like one continuous box. I try to keep a line on each of the edges that I have cut so that I can line up that line and it then makes it look like it's actually supposed to be like that, if that makes sense. And then in order to balance out all that black in the top left-hand corner, I did decide to go ahead and put some more black boxes down at the bottom of that sidebar. And I'm going to use these for my errands and things like that. I'm not going to have a ton of time to do errands, and I probably won't do errands on Monday just because it is a holiday and that normally means that it's busier out. I prefer to do my errands when there are less people out and about, so chances are I will do these Friday morning on my way to Cincinnati. So I have a Target return that has to be made this week, and then I do have a Dick's return, and I think I have some Amazon returns. So nothing huge or horribly out of my way or anything like that, but they do need to be done. I do decide to tuck a little bit of the sage green washi tape in around those boxes just to make them look like they belong there and they don't stick out like a sore thumb. So I definitely like how that kind of neutralizes that area. And then in the sidebar, the quote or the sentence strip is "Believe in yourself." I did crop out me flipping through the little sticker book again because it does take a little bit of time, and because they are so small, I have a hard time flipping quickly. So I did cut that out. I decided on these three stickers. I like them all. I did struggle here looking at this about how much kind of dead space is above that chair in the bottom right hand corner, but I think it will turn out good. So let's go ahead and start making these clusters. For the middle one that I'm putting on Wednesday, I am going to use the coffee cup one because I felt like it was a little more work-like. And since I will be working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week and no other days, I did decide to drop it here on Wednesday. And the script washi tape showing through the washi sticker is really starting to grow on me. I don't love the grid showing through as much, but I do like the script and how it just adds a little bit more texture to the cluster. So the quote in the sidebar says, "Believe in yourself." The quote that I'm going to pick for this Wednesday cluster says, "Start doing things you love." And I really like most of the sayings on these small talk sticker sheets. So it's not very difficult for me to just pick one and go. I'm not trying to read the whole sheet. I did try to find things a little more faith related on the faith page that I did, but the rest of this, I'm just going to pick the right length of sticker that I want, and most of the sayings will go just fine. So the cluster that I'm working on here, I do go ahead and put the script washi pretty much right smack dab in the middle of the washi sticker, and I really like how that script is coming through and again adding that texture. However, I did not want the grid behind the washi sticker, so I did decide to trim it at the edge of the sticker, but make it look like it is running behind. So I just didn't want that grid behind as well. I thought it was just too much showing through the washi sticker. So for this cluster, I did choose Live, Create, Tell the Story, and I decided to not put it up with the washi tape and kind of draw your eye down to the bottom where it's a little calmer. And I didn't mind covering up the wrists of the person that is holding the flower. I didn't really want to put it up higher and cover up any of that flower. So let's do this last cluster down in the bottom right hand corner. And this is the sticker that I was debating whether or not I would actually use because I feel like there's no huge focal point to it except for the chair. And then there's a bunch of other just dead space around the chair, and the chair's not centered. And so I was kind of stressed about using the sticker, but once I get it down, I think it really works out well. I did go ahead and put this grid washi down, but I will mess around with that a little bit. And if you haven't seen this poker tool before, I really think it's helpful getting the backing off of stickers that don't have like an edge around it to peel off. I just really struggle getting stickers off sticker sheets, so I love the poker tool. And then I'm going to grab the slice, hoping that I could get this washi tape trimmed tight to the image, and I didn't do a very good job, so I will start over on that. So I'll lay this back down and then I'll carry it all the way across, but I will use my slice tool. I didn't like that where it was going to be under the sticker was basically the focal part of the sticker. If I had put it up at the top where it's all that dead space, I think I would have been okay. And as I mentioned before, I didn't really like how the grid washi looked behind the sticker unless it was at the very edges. So I decided to just layer it, but not have it actually go under the sticker. Now here's where the script washi really helped. It added enough interest to the sticker where I didn't feel like there was too much dead space at the top. I felt like it gave more visual interest with that extra layer of texture. And I'm going to drop in another quote or another sentence, and this just says, "You are enough." And then I did grab another black box to drop in here as well. And I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to use it for at first, but then I decided to write in my niece's graduation party. And I'm just using my Kelly Creates '08 tip fine liner, and it just brings a little extra interest. And then I also use my Muji 0.38 just for a little variety and again to bring in a little extra interest. And I know that Saturday is pretty much going to be dedicated to that, but I wanted to leave plenty of white space up above so that I can make any lists of things that my brother or sister-in-law ask me to do that day. But while we have this Kelly Creates fine liner out, let's go ahead and write in a few more things. Of course, Memorial Day, 2023, and then I am also going to remember that I need to put in another box for the dates, so May 27th through June 2nd, and I'll just use my Kelly Creates for that as well. I like that the Kelly Creates fine liners have some bold tip options, and I like to write with them just based upon they're kind of squared. I don't know how to describe the tip, but I really like the tips of these pens, and I find it very easy to write when I'm not the best at the calligraphy or the lettering. So I just find these pens easy to use. I also remember that there's a soccer party on Sunday when we get back, so I'm going to go ahead and put in a black sticker for that as well. And I'm really enjoying being able to do a more decorative spread. I really do like my functional plans and that I have a routine that works for me, but it is fun to do something a little bit different this week. And I'm using the same spread. I'm not varying from this spread because it does work for me. And I do need a lot of white space for lists and whatnot, but I'm having so much fun doing this more decorative spread this week. So let's go ahead and drop in also that I'm going to be on a business trip Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then I'll be in Cincinnati Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is one of the first spreads in a long time that I haven't used a highlighter on. I may end up using a highlighter here and there, but I don't plan on doing the color coding that I normally would do. And it's kind of nice to have just a very calm, kind of monotone spread. I will also drop in my kids to appointments that I need to make sure they make it to. I do have a few meetings that I need to try to make it to or attend virtually while I am on my business trip, but I'm not going to write those in because A, I won't have my planner out while I am at the data center, and B, the meetings have changed so much lately that every time I write down a meeting, it ends up changing. So I think I'll just use my Google Calendar or my Outlook calendar to track those things. And I did count the number of lines I had over where I want to track my meal planning to make sure that I had room to write dinner up at the top. So I did use the Kelly Creates pin again for the dinner as well as the errands titles. And I feel good about this spread now. Let's jump over to my tasks for the week as well as any time blocking that I need to try to do. So I do have a lot of making all the plans things that I would like to get done this week, but I don't know how much I'm actually going to get done. You saw how much I will be away from the house, and I have a hard time recording when I'm not at home, or at least when I'm not by myself. I will try to make as much progress as possible on my three big goals for the quarter, my making all the plans, my personal stuff, and my home things. So let's go ahead and write down the things that I want to try to tackle this week. And I never fully fill up these columns. There's no way that I could finish that many tasks in a week while also trying to work my full-time job. So I will put a little bit of decor down at the bottom of the page. Right now, I'm just flipping through and deciding which images I want to use for both sides of the spread. I would like to choose three images though to spread out or to cluster together, but I like the number three or I like making triangles. I'm just trying to do things that are visually appealing to me. And after I pulled those two flowers, I really wanted something else to go that was a little bit different, a little harder than a flower. So I did pick this window frame or this open door. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I liked that it was a little bit harder than a flower. I am going to bring in my washi tapes again. So let's start by laying down the script washi. And again, I don't fill up the entire column of any of these, so I feel like running it across the whole bottom will work just fine for me. And I am also going to drop in the green grid washi and try not to put it where I want to actually put one of the washi stickers. Again, I don't mind that it overlaps a little bit, but I really don't like the grid showing through the image as much. And originally I was going to put this door or window image going up the page instead of down the page like I'm doing here, but I really wanted the script washi to show through this image like it is now. I'm really liking the extra dimension that this is adding. And because I don't use that important notes for this week section very much, I might write in something like Memorial Day on Monday, Tuesday through Thursday, out of town for business, Friday through Sunday, out of town for graduation party, just so that I don't beat myself up later for not getting things done. But I will go ahead and leave that blank for now and just drop in this washi and this image. And I haven't done this to any of the other washi stickers yet, but I do decide to trim this one down a little bit. I just felt like it was a little too tall for this box. I wanted some space on the bottom and some space on the top where there wasn't an image. So I do go ahead and trim the top of this off Once I get my little sentence stripped down that says live your dreams with passion, and I'm just using the grid dots that are on the page to make a straight line with my washi tape cutter and my slice tool. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop in another sticker that says great things take time. And I am going to skip over me actually writing down my tasks that I'd like to accomplish for the week. So I just skipped through that, but here they are. There are a lot, so hopefully I can get most of them done on Monday. I will put in some time estimates there as well, but this is my spread for this week. I will flip through and show you the final product. I'll fill out the weekly on Sunday, but I will get this hole punched and ready to go in my planner. I hope that everybody has a wonderful week and enjoys the last week of May already. It's crazy, but I will see you in my next video. Bye!